Welcome to another episode of the Bold Predictions Podcast. We are your three hosts. My name is AJ,
I'm Richie.
And I'm Dan.
and we are recording this lovely episode on a lovely evening on a Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. And as you can see, there's only three of us. Jacob has a wild schedule, so it's very we don't even know when he shows up sometimes. So it's gonna be us three consistently, hopefully. But yeah. Are you guys ready for another great episode today?
Very excited.
Every week we come ready.
Huh. Oh yeah. All right. Well then let's roll right into it. So this week we are going to start off with our random rational rants. We're gonna switch it up a bit. So and this week, of course, it would be Jacob, and we don't have him. So he sent me his random rational rants, and I will be saying them to you guys. So we said we're doing one each or two
We could
this week.
see what happens. I feel pretty good. So if you guys want to do two, that's fine by me.
That's it too.
Okay. So I do have 7 written down, so we should be good. And before we get started, shout out to Andrew, our beautiful thumbnail maker, and our editor when he wants to be. Yeah. And all right, let's get started. So, who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, Dan, 1 through 7. Pick a number.
5.
Number 5. And remember, these are questions from Jacob, not actual specific people. All right. So, your topic or question is, does Carson Wentz have a landing spot?
Oh. Yeah, I think he should. I think there's a couple of teams, like obviously there's Steelers, Colts, 49ers, Chicago Bears. Can't think of any more right now, but there's a bunch of teams that need at least a solid QB. And I do think he's still, I know he's played like complete ass, but I think he is actually still a quality quarterback. The Eagles kind of had, they had some pieces, but Jalen Reagor was out most of the year. Deshaun Jackson was out most of the year. They were using Fulgham on like 20% of snaps by his 4th week playing, so he was just out of the picture. I don't know why. They like using like Greg Ward and shit. People who kind of suck. So I don't think he's actually that bad. He was the MVP like 3 years ago. He didn't actually win it, but he's playing like the MVP until he got injured. I think in a few years we could see him at the top again, in the top like 7 quarterbacks of the league, to be honest. I don't know if I had to pick a spot for him. I feel like the Colts or Chicago fit him kind of well. Like I feel like he could play well in the cold weather because he's such a big guy. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't see him being on the bench for too long. Obviously, he was benched this year because he didn't play well. But I think I saw it somewhere that he wants to stay in Philly now because Peterson's gone. I don't remember exactly, but I don't know. I feel like you can't. Carson Wentz doesn't want to be on the bench, and I feel like he should just get out of there at this point. And yeah, I agree with you with the Colts. I would love to see him on the Bears as long as he plays like he did this year. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about Carson Wentz. He's kind of on off. It seems like he's one of those quarterbacks. But yeah, I think he should get out of Philly for sure if he wants a starting job.
Yeah,
the weirdest year when it comes to injuries, though. Like they had so many people go down. When you think about it, I think every starter on their team, like that could catch a ball, was down at one point. So
yeah, that's true. Richie?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be interesting for that quarterback room going into next year because it's gonna be a clean slate with a new coach. They're both gonna have to earn starting reps, and Carson really doesn't seem like a grinder, at least after this year with all the reports that came out with how he was displeased with Philly drafting a quarterback after him quote unquote proving himself with Foles. So it'll be interesting. At this point, who knows? But Frank Reich in Indy seems pretty interesting because there's already a good rapport there. They have T.Y. Hilton. I think that'd be Carson's best receiver ever that he's played with. So yeah, all the quarterbacks are such a fun storyline to watch out for.
All right. Now we'll move on to the next one. Richie, 1 through 7, not 5.
Number 1.
Whew. All right. This I think was considered an opinion question by Jacob. But your question is, were the Steelers really a good team?
Oh man, I would say yes. I think they were a good team. But they had some injuries at the running back position, and um, Big Ben is very old, so I believe he kind of started to slow down a bit at the end. So it's going to be interesting next year to see what happens in terms of, are they going to draft someone? Is he their guy? Because the whole team like really took a step back. Um, so I would say yes, they were a good team, and they still are a good team, but they just need to hope that they can keep everyone healthy and hope that, I don't know, hope that they maybe get another quarterback in there.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I definitely thought the Steelers were a good team. Their defense for sure was definitely top tier. Their offense kind of meh with all their injuries and stuff, and then obviously their TikTokers on the team. I think they just hit a brick wall and they couldn't bounce back from it. Ever since, what was the first game they lost? Washington?
Yeah.
What it's like once they hit that, they just literally could not keep moving forward. They won what I think they went 1-5 after that
Yeah.
game. So it was like they really just stopped. And that sucks because their defense, I feel like their defense should have carried them further than what they got, considering the Browns put up 28 on them in the first quarter of the playoff game. They should have been knocked out early. So it really it's so hard. I enjoyed watching the Steelers in the beginning of the season, but they just went downhill by the end of it.
I think that it's important for us to note that Devin Bush and Bud Dupree went down, and then they started losing. It seemed like their defense kind of got a little more uh, like easier to play against. They definitely took a step back in the sack department. Um, they're so weird to me because they are so skilled. Like that three receiver group, I don't. Besides, I guess Tampa, I don't know of another team that has three like stud receivers like that. Plus Eric Ebron is a good tight end. James Conner's a fine running back. Like their offense with that offensive line is like really special. It's just like for whatever reason, Big Ben just couldn't really throw the ball down the field. Like all his receivers had pretty low A dots, and he kind of got into like this pattern of like just forcing it to Deontay. Deontay would have like retarded target numbers. Like he was at, I think he had a bunch of games of 15 plus targets. Um, and he would like, I just noticed in certain games he would just completely avoid Juju and Claypool for like no reason. So I think if they could just spread the ball around and get healthy again and try to throw it deep, whether that means get a new quarterback or be like, I don't know, Ben maybe heals his elbow even more over the season or whatever. But if they could just start throwing it deep with those threats that they have, they could be like a really, really, really good team.
I'll say this real quick. I actually don't agree with you with the wide receiver comment because Steelers were tied for the NFL with the most drops with 31, and I think
Mhm.
they need a top tier guy in there because Claypool and Juju seem to be slightly distracted by other things. And Deontay Johnson's injured a lot, so I think they need another guy like AB, and it's really killing them that they don't have that, and that really like suffocated their offense at the end of the year due to the fact that they had to keep it like check downs and stuff. And like you said, if they can get back to the deep ball, that's going to open up everything. But until they get guys that are better, it's going to hurt them. And also, Juju's on a contract year, so after all the shenanigans this year, are they going to want him back? Who knows?
I I still don't think there's another team with three receivers as talented. Um, Deontay, by the way, was probably more than half of those drops. Deontay really had some issues with that, but
I feel like with their QB situation, I feel like they need to draft someone or get someone in some way, shape, or form. Have him sit behind Big Ben like maybe a year or so he can learn, and then take over the year after to see how Big Ben does this year, and then make that decision. Then I don't really know his contract if it like expires within the next year or so, but they need to do something because Big Ben he looked good in the beginning of the year, but he just died.
Very true. Yep.
Yeah. All right, Richie, what do you got for me?
Number 1 through 5. Nothing has been taken yet.
Oh, I didn't expect that. Let's go with right in the middle. Let's go 3.
3. So you're gonna tell me your thoughts on Seattle and how to fix them.
Ooh, Seattle. Funny you say that because that was another one of mine. So I'll knock that out of here. Seattle, huh? Well, I think was it Pete Carroll that said they're going to turn into a ground and pound game?
Yes.
I don't know about that. I don't
Then
know
they
about
fired
that
their
because
OC.
Russ.
It was so bad.
Yeah, that is not. I don't really agree with that at all in Pete Carroll's eyes. I feel like Russ. He's a very good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He has great receivers, except when he plays them in fantasy, as I joked all year, or maybe it was serious. I really don't know. But he has great receivers. He hits them. He hits them pretty well. He hits the deep ball with DK a lot. He hits the short ball. Sometimes they just can't connect, but I think it's hard to say. I mean, their offensive line probably needs a fix because Russ was getting killed in that wild card game. He was running for his life, and that didn't even work out. Wide receiver, they're good. Running back, Chris Carson, I really like him. Yeah, I feel like their O line is a big problem. Their defense needs to be fixed, so that's another big issue. Um, Once they fix those two things up, I feel like they'll be right back in the conversation for Super Bowl because at the beginning of the year, their team was solid. And I mean solid. Their offense, well, I mean, not the defense, but their offense was on fire. There was no better team in the league with that offense. And once you get back to that, I feel like it'll be a-okay. Pete Carroll just needs to make the smart decision and not turn into a ground and pound game.
Yeah, so Pete Carroll has always wanted to be a ground and pound team. Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator, was the one who was trying to get him away from that, and now he's gone. Because I guess they just blamed him for this end of the season when it was obviously Pete Carroll's fault. Like he's the one who was like, "All right, I'm sick of letting Russ throw it for whatever reason." And so yeah, they turned into ground and pounds, and they sucked. Clearly, they sucked. But their defense actually got a lot better. If you look at the splits from like the beginning half to the second half, it's like night and day. It's so much different. Their passing yards allowed was just not even the same team. So I think their defense is actually pretty fixed. But yeah, what you were saying about the offensive line, that is Seattle has never been a team that has a good offensive line, and that isn't really going to change anytime soon. It's not exactly easy to just form a good offensive line out of nowhere. So I think they're going to always struggle with that, which is why you typically wouldn't want to be a ground and pound team if you have such a bad O line. But as long as Pete Carroll, can get rid of his own biases and understand that he has DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Russell Wilson, like use them. You know what I mean? So they should be fine, but I think they kind of do this themselves here.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the situation's going to solve itself until Pete Carroll's out of there. I think they honestly need to clean house because even their drafting has been atrocious since God. So they got lucky when Pete Carroll came over from the college coaching because he knew some of the players and knew who was good. So they were able to hit steals with like Sherman, Irvin, uh, maybe not Wagner, but like Thomas, Chancellor, and they had an amazing defense. Now I think they hit like on 1 or 2 players out of a minimum like 7 draft class, or 7 chances in draft class, and hitting 1 out of 7, 2 out of 7 is horrible. So I think they need to completely clean house there in Seattle because what they're doing right now is old fashioned and it's not working, and it reminds me of the Giants who just finished 6-10. So
I mean, the 1-7 hit with the draft, that's about what the Eagles do too. So you're not alone there.
yeah, and they just fired their coach, their winning record head coach, who I admit was not like coaching to his potential the whole year, but yeah, I don't know. They need a clean house there as well. It's just they're like 50 or 60 mil under the cap in Philly. So that's going to be interesting.
Hell yeah. All right. Let's move on to or we'll keep it going another round. I got 4 left. So Dan, 2, 3, 4, or 7.
I'll go 7 because I think that's yours.
Yeah, well, you got that right. And funny enough, it's the person we just talked about, Doug Peterson.
Ugh, I don't want to talk about him.
Well, you
uh,
gotta. So,
I don't even have a lot to say about him. Like he sucked this year. He was trash. Didn't give Carson a lot of options. Um, I don't even know where he goes from here. Like, do you think he'll stay head coach? Because I don't know if he'll stay head coach or if he'll become a coordinator or what. But I don't know what team specifically would want him right now. Honestly, I don't even like. I just don't know that much about him, to be
honestly,
honest.
yeah, I added him on because it was the last minute option. So I
Richie,
don't
you
really
probably
have
know
much
more.
on him. Yeah.
I would say he'll probably find an offensive coordinator position because he isn't a good OC. It just seemed like in terms of development of Carson Wentz and the players around him that he kind of let him down this year. And because of that, he didn't play the right players, like Dan mentioned before about Fulgham kind of being just left out of the game plan. Um, yeah, I think an OC position is best for him, so he can kind of regroup and try to find a position somewhere else. But
One complaint I do have is he once Alshon came back, he left Alshon in for like 100% of the snaps. It was Alshon and Greg Ward, and he said fuck Fulgham, and Rieger was like half the snaps. It was just that was atrocious.
it was probably something from management because they were like, we're paying Alshon so much, might as well try to get him involved. But when he's not playing well, it's really hard to justify the head coach not stepping in and saying something. But
Also, I
it
would
seems,
think you'd want to know what Fulgham has. You don't just cut him next year, which is what they might just do because they don't even use him anymore.
oh, absolutely. I hope they do. I hope they cut him. But it seems like Philly's kind of in a bad place right now because I think it was like their last two or three head coaches have all had winning records and they've been fired. So that's not really a good look.
Hmm. All right. Um, Richie, two, three, or four.
Two.
Good, because that was the one I really wanted you to pick. Did the Rams beat the worst team in the playoffs?
No. Um, they beat one of the worst. I believe
Ooh.
that the Bears were the worst. And actually, one of my questions kind of, or yeah, one of my topics actually talks about this, but I believe the Bears were the worst. Um, and I mean, that's all I can say about it, I guess. No, they didn't, but I mean, Seattle has been falling ever since like what was it, like week 6 or whatever. Um, once their offense started to slow down a bit and their defense kept letting up like more and more yards. So, um, yeah,
Yeah, I mean Seattle was kind of like the Pittsburgh of the NFC. They started off really hot and then they died all of a sudden. And then
yeah.
I mean I will say this: no one thought the Rams were going to win that game. I think out of us three, wait, who picked the Rams last week? Was it me and Jacob? I don't remember. But yeah, I know I wasn't even confident picking the Rams, but they pulled it off, and with Jared Goff and his broken thumb, I would really just wasn't expecting it. So Seattle, they were definitely one of the worst, but as you said, Chicago was pretty bad. I thought the Browns were going to be one and done, but that changed. Um, but yeah, I mean, the Rams just had a. I think the Rams got lucky. I will say that. I think the Rams got lucky, but hey, playoffs, one and done. Good job on the Rams and Seattle. Better luck next year.
I'll just add, I think Washington is also definitely worse than Seattle. So
Yo,
yeah,
Washington almost beat Tampa Bay. I don't want to hear
yeah, yeah.
it.
But Seattle's not that bad.
All right, Richie. Whenever you're ready, I don't know
Yes,
what number I
one,
picked.
1 through 5. Can't pick three.
All right, let's go with number 4.
Number 4. You're gonna tell me your thoughts about Jalen Ramsey versus Devontae Adams this week. And then in a bigger
That's a
picture, you can
hard
also
one.
talk about the Green Bay offense versus the Rams defense. They're both number one in scoring for their like categories.
Mm-hmm. All right, I had a good topic. I like this one, and I saw Dan smile, so he's going to be
Yeah.
excited to talk about this too. All right. Well, I will say this to start off. I forget. Was it? I think it was you, Richie, or Jacob that said it. But I don't think Jalen's gonna be on Ramsey one-on-one for like the whole game because I think they're gonna double cover Adams. I don't think Jalen Ramsey's gonna be single covering him the whole game.
Hey, Jay,
I
said
mean,
you don't think Jalen's gonna be on Ramsey?
all right. You know what? I can't talk sometimes. I saw your face and I was confused as to why you were giving me a dirty look, and I was like, "Oh, okay, because I'm just stupid. That's why." Yeah, okay. But, so I don't think Ramsey is going to be on Adams one-on-one the whole time because I don't think. Now I lost my train of thought. I hate you.
Because you think he'll be on Tavon? Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. He'll be on Tavon the whole game. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a one-on-one like we all expected. I think there's gonna be some sort of double coverage most of the game because Devontae is a beast. I think the last time they played each other, Ramsey kept Adams to like one catch for 5 or 10 yards. I don't remember, but now they talked about that on I forget what it was. I think it was Good Morning Football, but they talked about that and they didn't mention the fact that on that Packers team we had Jordy Nelson and we had Randall Cobb. So I think that didn't make sense to me. But Devontae is a different beast now. I feel like the defense usually wins, but I think Devontae is on another level right now. The best he's been ever. And I feel like he's going to open up. He's been also adding on with that. He's been playing everywhere. He's been playing in the slot. He's been playing his deep route. So Jalen Ramsey is not a everywhere kind of cornerback. He kind of does the deep ball and stuff like that. But I think Adams is going to be fine. I think he's going to beat Ramsey quite a bit. I mean, obviously Ramsey is going to have a couple swats and beat him a couple times because that's just how the game is. But I am very excited to see what happens. I think Adams is going to have a good game still. Ramsey is going to probably have a good game. With the entire offense versus defense situation, it's so hard because I don't know if Aaron Donald is going to be different because of an injury or if their defense is just going to be completely trying to rush Aaron Rodgers. But it's really whoever wins the line. That because if their defensive line kills our O-line the whole game, we're not winning that game. Because as we saw with Tampa Bay, Aaron Rodgers, if he just gets nonstop pressured, he's not going to get anything done. And the run game won't be open. The pass game won't be open. It'll just be deadly. But if our O-line gives Rodgers some time, that's game. With his deadly accuracy and his just vision on the field, it's insane what he can do. So it's basically the line to me. And yeah, that's really all I can say about that.
I think that I think I really want the Rams to let the two like egos go at it. I want Devontae versus Jalen, like really bad. I want Jalen to actually have to cover him because a lot of these stats are like Jalen covering DK for this amount of routes or something, but it's like 20 routes out of like 60 in a game. It's not like the full like detail. Like last week, DK had 2 touchdowns and 98 yards, but like against Jalen, it wasn't like that great. So I think it's kind of going to be the same thing this week where Devontae like has a great game, but they're going to be like, oh, Jalen shut him down for these 15 routes. Because I think that what they're going to do is I actually don't think they're going to let them go at it. I think in the red zone they'll let them go at it because you kind of have to play man most of the time there. But I think in the middle of the field, I think they're going to do what the Panthers did to us and pretty much double or even triple Devontae and make Aaron Jones win it for us, which is going to be tough because, I mean, it's like the best D-line in the league pretty much against the almost best O-line because now we know Bakhtiari. But I don't know. I really want them to let it happen, but I think it's going to be like either 50-50 or even less. Jalen being on him only like 40 or 30% of the time. But if they are, I got to say, if they are match up against each other the whole time, I think Jalen is going to be Devontae's son for the day. So because Devontae's not like any of the receivers played. Like yes, he can shut down D Hop and DK, who are big. D Hop's not even fast, but just big like jump ball catchers. But Devontae's just different. He's just straight up different, best route runner in the league. No one can tell me otherwise. So yeah. And as for the whole defense versus O line matchup, um, I think it's gonna be one of two things. It's either we start off hot and we just destroy them, like Aaron has one of his games, and by halftime, we're like, oh wow, I can't believe we're actually just destroying them. We're already thinking about next week, or it's gonna be one of those ones where, like an unlucky pick happens or something happens, kind of like that Tampa game where it makes the game a little tough for us. But I think either way, Packers have the advantage, even without Bakhtiari. Elton Jenkins is playing great at left tackle, so I think we'll be all right. And Aaron Donald's hurt too, so that helps a little bit.
Just gonna leave it there at the Packer fans' opinions.
You
That's
don't
all I'm
want to
gonna
add
say.
anything, Rich?
I don't know. I think they're gonna let it go at it, and then Adams is gonna take advantage, and then they're gonna be like, all right, we need to double them. I think that's what's
Yeah.
gonna happen. But
Okay, so it was you that said that they're gonna have to double him.
yeah,
Okay, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember. But yeah, I think that'll end the rational rants for today. Pretty solid. Next up, we're going to switch up our team talks, and instead of making it team talks, we're going to make it playoff team talks. Sorry, Richie.
oh,
But yeah. So, actually, before we get into that, I do have one question, and this is to make up for the not including the Giants, because maybe Richie can roast us here, maybe Richie can't. I don't know, but this is just a random question. How do you guys feel about people that don't support their hometown team?
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rich, this is on you because you're the one who does. So
yeah, I mean, it's not like a necessary thing. I'm not a fan of bandwagoners. Like if you pick a team that was good at one point and you like them and then you stuck with them, totally fine. But if you're the Ravens and then you're the Chiefs and then you're the Packers, that's when it's kind of like meh. But because people come from all over the place and they have all different stories, so it's totally fine if you don't like a team that's close by. That's not how I do it. I tend to like the home teams because they're actually on TV. Sometimes you guys can't watch the Packers because they're not on TV. So
That is true, yeah.
that suck. I don't know. I think I started liking the Packers back in Brett Favre's last year. Just because one of my friends when I was 8 liked them, so like he was watching them, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll watch them. And then since then, I've always liked them. I mean, AJ just became a Packers fan this last year. So I don't know, maybe he can.
Get the hell out of here! This guy, bro. I can't believe you. I thought that was an interesting question because I don't know. I feel like I would be probably a hometown kind of supporter, or like support or yell at people that don't support their hometown team, or be like that kind of guy if they didn't have like a crazy story about why they support this team. Like well my story is not like super crazy, but I think it's pretty interesting, and that's why I liked it. Richie, did you become a fan just because of the hometown team, or was it another reason for the Giants and not the
um
Jets? Or
yeah, so my dad was a Jet fan and I saw how miserable he was, so I said, okay, Giants.
oh, okay, that's pretty good,
Well,
honestly.
no, it's because the people I was hanging out with at the time were Giants fans, and I wanted to be included. I wanted to be like part of their like I guess group. So I was like, oh yeah, go Giants. If they could have been any team, and I would have said, oh yeah, go this team, go that team. But
All right, I respect that. So Richie is a follower, not a leader. All right, let's move on.
yes, definitely.
All right. Um, all right. So getting into playoff teams, I want to start off with I want you guys to rank the top 8 teams left from worst to first. What do you got? Whoever wants to start can go. But yeah, I want to see what your ranks are.
So I have, let's see, I'll go from best to worst, I guess. Um, So this is tough because I have Saints in the Super Bowl. Obviously, we all know that. But that's just me sticking to it just for my to say I stuck with it for like 10 weeks. So I'm gonna actually say Chiefs 1. Although they do have weaknesses. Packers 2. Saints 3. Bucks 4. Bills 5. Ravens 6. Browns 7. Rams 8.
All right, Richie.
I agree with the top. I'll take the Chiefs. I'm also just looking at all the teams real quick. Right. I'm gonna say Chiefs 1. At 2, assuming that they like calm down and play to their potential, that I'll take the Bills. And then I'll take Packers, Saints, ooh, Ravens, Bucks. I think I have a bias for the Rams, but I'll leave them last. Bucks, Browns, Rams. So Chiefs, Bills, Packers, Saints, Ravens, Bucks, Browns, Rams.
All right. All right. So I think we're all pretty similar. I'll go through mine really quick. Mine is Chiefs, Packers, Saints, Bills, Browns, Tampa Bay, Baltimore Rams.
Damn,
Um,
you're low on Tampa.
yeah, maybe it's just the bias in me, but it also could be the bold in me. It's just the way you look at it.
It seems like I'm the highest on Tampa and a lot lowest on the Bills.
Well, I feel personally for me, I think I would be a lot higher on Tampa if they played someone else this week, but they're playing the Saints, and I just don't think they're going to be that high.
I actually agree with that. I just think if I put Tampa up against the Bills, I actually do think they'd win.
Yeah, I mean, I have Buffalo 4th, and Richie had him 2nd, so I just had him dropping off because of the wild card game that they did not play well in.
That's why I had to say like if they play up to their potential, because I do believe the AFC is stronger than the NFC. But if Josh Allen's shaky, then it's
I think my opinion is changing on that. I think the NFC is stronger now.
Ooh, fight!
3 out of 4 of my top 4 teams are NFC. So.
yeah. Well, half of mine are AFCs. No.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, it really it all depends on the week. Any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 2-2, so I can't really argue that. Yeah. I mean, I will say I do have all the home teams at the top 4. So
There you go.
yeah. So I think home team is better. The home teams are better than the away teams. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. And yeah, let's actually talk about like each team a little bit before we move on into our predictions. So let's start off with the Rams. What do you guys like about them? What do you dislike? What are their keys to winning? Anything?
Richie, you want to
I like their defense.
Well, thanks. Good job, bud. Good job.
go?
I don't like Goff consistency.
Yeah, okay.
And
Never mind. You were continuing. Sorry.
and their key to win is the defense.
Yeah, this is why we shouldn't have done the podcast.
No, I'll tell you about. I just don't want to make it too long. Yeah, so to elaborate, their defense has to play well this week. Oh, I just disconnected myself. The defense.
What happened?
I disconnected
Just like
myself.
hit puberty, bro.
The defense has to play well this week for the Rams to have a shot, because if the Rams have to kind of shoot out the Packers, I don't think it's going to go well. Especially because I know the Packers have a better. I'm going to say it outright. Packers have better weapons than the Rams. I think the Rams' offense is a little bit overrated. I don't think Wood and Cup or Woods and Cup are as good as like made out to be. And the quarterback is not even a contest between the two. So Rams need to play stout defense, hold the Packers to 21 points. And if they can do all that, then I think Rams have a shot here.
I think what I said before, they have to play how the Panthers played us. I'm not saying Panthers played well. We just kind of sucked in the second half. They need to double Devontae, and Goff has to just not turn it over because he is so turnover prone. Cam Akers has to gouge us in the run game, get like 160 yards. Honestly, he has to really pop off. It's not even like, yes, it's a defensive battle, but to me, it's just you got to outscore the Packers. Like we're gonna put up at least like 27. I feel so they just gotta they got to be able to get in a shootout with us, and that's gonna be tough with Goff.
That's bold. We scored 27 on the best defense in the league right now. That's crazy.
We're implied right now. Vegas has us for 26.25, so I don't. It's not that like outrageous.
Wow, really? Huh.
Yeah, we're favored by 7.
I knew that. I did know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, their defense, so as Richie said in the beginning, their defense needs to be on point. Aaron Donald needs to come out strong and destroy our O-line. Jalen Ramsey needs to have one of his best games in order to take on Devontae. And the rest of that defense just needs to step up, because if Aaron Rodgers has time, he will find a man. Whether it's MVS dropping a ball deep in the middle, or it's Alan Lazard on like a out route to get out of bounds for 3 yards, we will find a way to get open. But yeah, I mean, I will say this: our defense against their offense is going to be very interesting, because everyone's looking at it the other way around, our offense versus their defense.
Yep.
But if those guys cancel out, I feel like our defense is way better than their offense, to the point where we can stop them. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting on both sides of the ball for sure. But yeah, let's move on. The Baltimore Ravens. What do you got for them?
I actually think they have a good shot this weekend to upset the Bills, just because they kind of caught fire at the end of the year. Granted, it was against some bad teams, but after Lamar finally getting over the quote unquote hump of not being able to win a playoff game, which I think was just like false expectations by everyone else, I think that's going to play well for them. And I mean, I don't know who's going to win, because both teams are very good, but if their defense can get back to like playing very well like they were in the beginning of the year, then I would say watch out, because that team is very dangerous, and you never know when Lamar can take it like 50 yards on the ground to the house.
Yeah, it's weird for me because I much prefer the Bills. Like I like them a lot more as just a team to watch. They're way more fun. But weirdly enough, I think the Ravens are a more like consistent and tough team to play than the Bills are, if it makes any sense. Like I feel like they're just the way they play the run style and the defense, I think is much better than the Bills defense. I think this mainly comes down to, yes, Lamar doing well, but I really think if that defense can hold up against Josh Allen and make life difficult for him and turn him back into like his rookie season, I think that's the key for them to win, honestly, because that Bills offense is putting up like 30 to 40 points like every single week. So I would say Lamar running for about 100 yards, like J.K. Dobbins running for about 100 yards, and then that defense just pulling together like they did last week, holding the Titans to 13 points. I think that's how they win again.
Yeah, definitely defense strongest part of their team in general. Their run game, big point. Their weakness, though, is their passing game. Because if the Bills make them pass the ball, I don't see the Ravens winning that game. If Lamar can't run, if J.K. Dobbins can't run, it's gonna be something else. But yeah, I don't know. It's Ravens are such a weird team to me. But then again, I feel like I say that about every team this year, because it's just a weird year. And I would love. All these games are just so interesting to me. I don't really have an opinion on any of them. Like it's so weird. That's the title of this episode. Weird, because I don't know what else to say. I guess I'll just cut it short with, if Baltimore passes the ball, they will lose.
Yeah, I would agree. If they fall behind, they'll lose. If the Bills fall behind, they have a chance to come back. So I think the Bills have like not double the chance of winning, but like they have 2 ways of winning. So
they have a good shot. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Next up, We'll go with the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. Now, the one fault I have for them is, have they done enough to build enough chemistry and continuity on offense to finally take down the Saints? Because the both times that they have played them, they have looked terrible. Saints definitely have the upper hand here. But as AJ pointed out last week, it's really hard for a team to play 3 times in the year, or for 2 teams to play 3 times and have it be a sweep. And like that's gonna be the it's gonna be the storyline for this one. So I don't know. They're finally getting AB involved, which I think could help a lot. I don't know if Evans is still a little banged up, but if Tampa plays the way they did last week against the football team, I think that's not a good look for them. But I don't know. I mean, I like their offense. Their defense is solid. Can stop the run, which is the Saints strong point. So all these games are so good. I think like all of them can just be like
Either
games of
way.
the year. But
That's true.
Oh, I've watched like almost every Bucks game just because my dad wants to watch them all. So I kind of feel like I know a lot about this team. And the key for this game is for them to be ahead after the first quarter, for them to not completely go 3-and-out on every single drive. I'm pretty sure the second time they played the Saints, they went out 3-and-out 4 drives in a row and let the Saints just absolutely trash them. If they can just come out of the gate clicking and not looking like a team that just came together a week ago, which they kind of did at that time, I feel like that's the key to winning. And also, I think if Mike Evans can finally win his matchup against Marshawn Lattimore, that'll be like a big decisive factor, because the best receiver on the Bucks this year has been Mike Evans, especially the last like 5 weeks. He's been fucking insane. Like, even though AB is coming onto the scene now, like Mike Evans is the key. He gets 100 yards every week. He's just been a beast. So if he can finally win that matchup, which I don't think he's won it once in his career, then they should be all right.
I think my biggest talking point with the Bucks is whether or not they took a big hit with losing their starting right guard. I don't know how well he's been playing with Alex Kappa, I think his name is. But if he was phenomenal this year, that could be huge for the Saints to take advantage of. I saw an article that said they tried out a former Patriot, Earl Watford is his name, if you guys heard of him. But they tried him out, and they might be having him play for them this weekend. But I don't know, that weakness there, that could be something the Saints could take advantage of. And I mean, like you said with Lattimore and Evans, if Lattimore wins that matchup as well again, and once again the freaking, why am I drawing a blank? I literally just talked about it. That line, whoever wins that line, that's going to be the winner of this game as well. Tom Brady is not a mobile quarterback, as we all know, because he's old AF, and he's not going to be moving around. So you get him trapped, he's good with the accuracy, but if you pressure him enough, he's not winning that game. I can tell you that right now.
especially with interior pressure, Brady's always had a problem when he has pressure in his face and he can't step up in the pocket. So that's going to be that's a big one, AJ.
Yeah.
Interesting to see.
I'm hitting all the weak points for teams right now. Did you have something you wanted to add, Dan?
Yeah. So the first time they played, Tampa threw 2 picks, had a defensive fumble recovery, and 3 sacks. That was Saints defense on Tampa. The second time they played, the Saints defense had 3 sacks and 3 interceptions. So yeah, you're right about that.
God.
Yeah, you're right about that O line. Like they need to hold this together, because Brady's been looking like trash under that pressure.
Oh man, jeez,
Yeah, that's bad.
I didn't realize it was that bad. All right, well, let's move on. How about this? We'll do one more team, then we'll go to predictions, and if we have anything to add on for the other 4 teams, you can add it on for the prediction. Does that work for you guys?
Yeah.
Sure.
Alrighty, one more team. Let's talk about the Cleveland Browns.
I mean, what's not to like about this Browns team? They are amazing. They can win games with and without their head coach. I mean, there's just no stopping them. But in a more real sense, this is going to be their toughest matchup of the year. Um, Now they're gonna have Stefanski back, which is definitely an upgrade. Although, like, bravo to their team for actually like putting together a very, very solid performance against the Steelers. Um, yeah, I don't know. If they can get the ground game going and cooking, I think that'll be amazing because that's how the Titans beat the Chiefs last season in the regular season. They got Derrick Henry going, and I don't remember the score, but it was high scoring, and they were able to match the Chiefs. So if they can get the ground game going, use play action, get some deep shots, and then just not even like stop the Chiefs, but just like control them or manage them, I think that'll be huge. And I like to look at playoff experience, and obviously Chiefs have a lot compared to the Browns is little, but I also like to look into the bye weeks, and having 2 weeks off could actually be a bad thing for the Chiefs. I know they were banged up, so they're gonna have all those guys in like ready to go, but I don't know, something about sitting 2 weeks just kind of doesn't rub me the right way. So I think they might be a little sloppy in the beginning. I'm not gonna say they're gonna go down 28-0, um, because Chiefs have gone down double-digit leads last year in the playoffs and they played well. So I'm not saying they're going to do that. If they do, they could probably come back from it. But I don't know. I think this is another interesting game. If the Browns can actually pull it off, that'd be insane.
I think the Browns. I think personally the Browns have the best rushing attack in the whole league, even better than the Titans. I also think the Chiefs have like there's some pretty bad teams, but they're a top 3 worst rush defense team. The only reason they're 16th overall this year, which isn't obviously bad on paper, but it's because they're up by like 20 every game, and they can't just run on the team when they're down. When a team down by 20 can't just run the ball. Whereas last year, when they weren't up by such drastic numbers all the time, I think they were 32nd, right with like Jacksonville and the Panthers for worst run defense. So I really think that it's the perfect matchup where your run defense is so bad against their amazing run offense that it's going to be a shootout either way. Like I really don't think the Browns defense has a shot of stopping the Chiefs, but I also don't think the Chiefs defense has a shot of stopping Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb's going to have like 150 yards, and Kareem Hunt's probably going to have like 75 as well. So I do think there's a legitimate chance for the Browns to win here. It's just, for me, it comes down to that final drive where Mahomes can pretty much walk all over them. Whereas if it's a 2-minute drill for Baker and he can't just rely on Chubb to run it for him, that's where it gets a little sketchy for me. But I think the spread is like 11 points. I think that's a little egregious. I think the Browns have a better shot than that.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, you literally hit every point that I was just about to cover. I was going to say literally that the Browns have the best running game in the NFL. I was going to say that the Chiefs' defense run game is not good at all. What can I add to what you said? Because you literally hit everything that I wanted to say. I guess the fact that I'll add on to what you were saying about the 2-minute part. Yeah, if the Chiefs go down by quite a bit, their throw game, their pass game is phenomenal to the point where they can come back easily. Whereas if the Browns go down a lot and Baker Mayfield has to throw the ball to his guys, I mean, Peoples-Jones, don't get me wrong, he's a great guy. But I don't think him and Jarvis Landry is going to be enough to overcome the secondary that the Chiefs have. I really like the secondary that the Chiefs have. So I don't think I see them getting beat if the Browns go down, for sure.
I think like last year, this game reminds me a lot of the Colts versus Chiefs, where the Colts actually won, where they had fucking Jacoby Brissett and Marlon Mack, and they were able to make I think the time of possession was like, I think there were 40 minutes in that game, 40 to 18 or something like that. I think that's just the Browns have to follow what the Colts and the Titans did last year if they want a chance.
Yeah, sounds about right. But all right. Now we're going to get into predictions since we're kind of already running pretty far. So if you guys have any other points to talk about when we talk about these games, make sure to bring them up. So starting off with our first game tomorrow, Saturday afternoon, it is the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Green Bay Packers. And for Jacob, he has the Packers winning this game with a score of 27-20. And Richie, you're up.
I'll probably be taking the bold prediction this week. Um, as I'm going crazy for all these games. I'm taking the Rams here in a low scoring game, 26-24.
Oh, you said Rams. Oh yeah, you disgusting mouth person. 26-24. All right, Dan.
Packers 34-27.
34-27. Well, I am very close to what Jacob said. I just saw his score and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" That was like right what I said. So I'm gonna go with the under on Jacob, and I'm gonna say Green Bay wins 26-20. All right. Next up, we got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Buffalo Bills, and this one's for Richie.
I think I said this before. I think Ravens are gonna get pretty hot here in the playoffs. Now that Lamar finally got his first win. However, three QBs from the 2018 draft class got their first playoff wins last week, so shout out to them. That being Jackson, Allen, and Mayfield. But I think the Ravens are gonna take this one. I'm gonna say 28-25.
Damn, so you had the Bills at number 2 and then the Packers at 3, and you have them both losing.
Oh yeah, my opinions about the teams don't reflect my
Yeah,
score predictions. I'm
like a
trying to just
1 week
be bold
sample.
here,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I agree.
All right, Dan.
Okay, my bias is just gonna come in here. I want to say the Ravens just because I do think they're the more like now I can't say well coached because my coach of the year is on the other team, but I just think they're like a more experienced team, I guess is the word. Even though Lamar's not too experienced, they have like Calais Campbell and people that are just like just old veterans that are really good. But they got to go with the new high flying offense and Steph Diggs and Josh Allen and John Brown and I do think Bills will pull it off 31-28.
All right. I'm also going to pick the Bills. I feel like the Bills defense is just going to just handle the run game of the Ravens. And like I said before, once you do that, it's all down to Lamar Jackson and his passing, which he doesn't really do often. So I'm taking Buffalo as well, 31-24. And then Jacob has the Bills as well, so which means Richie gets 2 bold predictions out of 4 games. That's wonderful, Rich. Buffalo 30-27. All right. Now, moving on to the Sunday games. We got Sunday afternoon with the Cleveland Browns taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And this one's for you, Dan.
Yeah, so I think in every single one of my matches, I'm picking like the team that I like that I'm starting to grow fond of, and man, it's the Browns, man. I really it's something about them. I just like the Browns. I love Nick Chubb. He's such a beast, and I just like Baker. Like I don't know if you guys remember the clip of him when Chubb like breaks into the house. He's like doing his little like baby step run or whatever the fuck. He's like super happy for Chubb and shit. And I don't know. He just seems like such a great teammate, and everyone like loves playing with him. So I don't know. Something's just clicking for me there. I feel like the Chiefs are gonna be a little cocky. Like I don't know if you saw Sammy Watkins' post, but Sammy Watkins is a little cocky about them winning, even though he's not even fucking playing. So I don't know. I just want to see the Chiefs kind of go down here, especially to a team that like if Browns won this, the fucking scenes would be insane. Like Colin Coward would be like he wouldn't be able to speak because Baker just took down the best team in the league. So yeah, I'm going Browns. Let's say it's gonna have to be high, like 35-38. Browns win.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. See, the thing is, I wanted to pick the Browns too. Um, I was going along with what Richie said. With the 2 week bye for Patrick Mahomes and that offense might hurt. I mean, then again, it is Patrick Mahomes, but I'm also on the Bold Predictions podcast as a host, so I got to go with Cleveland, 31-28.
You're ruining my bold prediction. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
hey, if I went first this one, you would be ruining mine, so I don't want to hear it. Then Jacob is going with the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, I was gonna kill him if you didn't.
He's going 36-30, Kansas City. And now Richie.
I'm sorry, boys. There's a game that has to be played here. You know, it's not just predictions. It's it's like we're playing a game here and getting points. So I'm changing to the Chiefs. I'm gonna take the under on Jacob. I'm gonna say 35-30.
He would have said Cleveland.
I would have given Jacob the bold prediction, but like I said, we're playing a game.
Imagine the Chiefs being a bold prediction
in the playoffs. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, you said okay. What did you say your score was?
35-30.
Wow, one right under Jacob. Okay. Wow. I wish you went first. Damn it. All right, and last but certainly not least, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints. And this one is for me, and I'm going with the home team here. I like New Orleans. I think they're going to kill Tom Brady the third time. And yeah, but then again, I do have the score being very close. I'm going to take New Orleans 33-31. Jacob has the Saints as well. He's taking them 20-17. So no lovely score from Jacob as we were used to seeing with 12.
Right, you could have said 3, and that would have been acceptable for this week.
Yeah.
Just to be different though, I'm gonna take Tampa Bay. I think they have enough chemistry now to finally come at New Orleans and say, "Hey, stop bullying us around." I'm gonna say Tampa Bay takes this one 28-27. AB has 3 TDs.
Okay, well, you just pissed off Dan. I'll tell you that right now.
I just wanted one bold prediction, and I was the one who ranked them the highest. And you guys are like, nah.
Hey, I picked the Saints.
I know. Okay, so Tampa Bay's gonna win. It's gonna be. What was your score, Richie?
Ooh, probably should have remembered it when I just said it.
Wait, you forgot it or me?
Yo, no. Richie's just being a dick.
28-27.
Oh, okay. I'll go higher. I don't care. I'll go. That's 30-27.
30-27. All right. And that is the divisional round in the books. All right. Now, before we end it off, we got to change. Well, some of us have to change up our Super Bowl predictions because it was knocked out.
Whatever.
So, who would like to go first with their Super Bowl prediction?
Me.
Oh, okay.
Ready for this?
Oh, no.
Yeah, yes, I picked them both to lose, but it's Chiefs Saints because I will not get off of that.
All right.
It's like I said, it's not about the predictions. We're playing a game. We're trying to win.
This is for my ego now. I want to be like, yes, I predicted this 10 weeks ago and I never failed. Like I never faded away from it.
All right. Well, who do you have winning that game, Dan?
Chiefs, dude. Can't swing now.
Richie?
Even if fucking Pat Mahomes is dead, like by next week, like if he breaks his fucking ACL, they're winning.
Oh God! All right.
You know what?
Richie?
You know what? No, that is a great mindset. I'm totally with that. I'm still picking Titans Rams here.
2022.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't know. I'm still gonna go Rams just because I'm gonna be a pesky little bitch. And then I'll take I'll take Bills. I'll say Bills Rams, and then Bills are going to win by a lot, like 40 points.
We're so like not like reputable, I guess the word. Like we're just picking all the teams that we said we're gonna lose and just saying they're going to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sticking with my scores that I have, so I'm gonna change up mine a little bit.
Oh.
And I'm going Green Bay to the Super Bowl. And against them is gonna be the Cleveland Browns. But Green Bay's gonna win.
With our run stop?
Stop! Shut up, bro. Green Bay is gonna win. I don't care what you say. I don't care how bad our run game is because we're gonna score 50 on them when they score 40.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And with that being said, do you guys have anything else that we want to add?
Nope.
Go Titans.
Oh.
This guy. All right. And with that being said, we are going to end the episode here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have been watching it, we appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment down below if you have any questions for us, and make sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Makes us keep going, even though we are going to keep going. Right, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
last week, guys. We'll see you next year.
All right. See you guys later.